Hello guys, welcome back to Vaishya's YouTube channel, and this is Pooja Sharma. So I'm back with our biosphere reserves. So today we will be reading about the next two biosphere reserves. So before we begin with the video, as you all know, this is the WhatsApp detail of Vaishya's. You can contact on this number for your enrollment details or for any UPSC related queries. You can even email us and visit our YouTube channel. There are a lot of mini series going on which will help you for your prelims, and it will be like a revision for you. So let's start. So we're going to read about the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve and the Coal Desert. So the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve, it is a non-use conservation area and also a biosphere reserve which is in the Satpura range of Madhya Pradesh state in central India. So you can see the location over here in the southern region of Madhya Pradesh, and here also they're showing us this area over here, and here is our Satpura range. So the conservation area, it was created in 1999 by the Indian government, and it also contains animals from the Himalayan peaks and also from the lower western Ghats. So what happens is, this Madhya Pradesh, the reason why it is called Madhya Pradesh is Madhya means middle. So the because of its location, it is situated in the central part of India, right? So what happens is, the animals which are present in the north are also found over here, and the animals which are found in the lower western Ghats or the southern regions are also found here, a mixture of the fauna. So UNESCO designated it as a biosphere reserve in the year 2009, and almost every year the scouts and guides people, so they visit the place as a Panchmari camp. So then the geography. So the Panchmari Biosphere Reserve is located within the areas of Hoshangabad, Betul and the Chhindwara districts in Madhya Pradesh state in India. So this is our Betul district, then we have the Chhindwara district and the Hoshangabad district. So the Biosphere Reserve's the total area is 4,926.28 square kilometers, and it includes 3 wildlife conservation units. So that is the Bori Sanctuary, then the Panchmari Sanctuary and the Satpura National Park. So on the basis of the responses which we get on these videos, then only we are going to make more detailed videos about the national parks and the different wildlife sanctuaries in detail, as you can see over here. If you want us to make these videos also, then make sure that you like and comment and subscribe to our channel. So then we have the Satpura National Park. It is designated as the core zone, and the remaining area is of 4,401.91 kilometer square. So this includes the Bori Panchmari sanctuaries, and also it serves as a buffer zone. Buffer zone is the transition zone between the core and the periphery. So here we have the Bori Sanctuary, as you can see, and then this is the Satpura National Park, which is acting as a biosphere. This is acting as a buffer zone between the Panchmari Sanctuary and the Bori Sanctuary. So the ecology. So the reserve, it is composed primarily of the forest habitats, and it is an important transition zone between the forest species of the western and the eastern India, as discussed in the previous slides. So the forests, they are dominated by the teak tree, and they also include the westernmost groves of the sal trees. So the sal tree, it is a dominant tree of the eastern India forest, and other endemic vegetations which are found over here will be wild mango, silver fern, jamun and the arjun. So you can see over here, this is chironji. So we also see Kadappa almond, which is known as chironji trees, which are abundantly found in the hills of Panchmari. So this is the chironji tree, Kadappa almond, and this is how they look. So then we have 14 ethnobotanical plant species which are present in this Panchmari Biosphere Reserve, and they have been studied with traded from the selected villages of the buffer zone area which is there in the PBR. So different plant parts of these important species, they'll be collected by the local people, and then they'll collect this for their own consumption and also for trade purposes. So a part of the reserve vegetation, it has been studied by Professor Chandra Prakash Kala, and especially with the respect to the indigenous uses of plants. So large mammal species, which includes tigers, leopards, wild bear, gaur, then cheetal deer, then muntjac deer, then we have the sambar deer and the rhesus macaque, and then we have the endemic fauna, which includes the chinkara, nilgai, then we have wild dogs over here, we have the Indian wolf, bison, then Indian giant squirrels and the flying squirrels. Sorry, this is the Indian giant squirrel and this is a flying squirrel. So then we have the cold desert biosphere reserve. So this cold desert biosphere reserve, it is located in the western Himalaya region within the Himachal Pradesh state in North India. So as you can see over here, they are showing us the state of Himachal Pradesh, and then they are showing us in detail where it is. So this CDBR is our cold desert biosphere reserve, which is almost sharing border with Tibet. So the biosphere reserve, they are areas of terrestrial and coastal ecosystems which promote the conservation of the biodiversity with its suitable use. So there are over 669 biosphere reserves around the world in over 120 countries. So this, they are just telling us what a biosphere actually is, a biosphere reserve. So the Ministry of Environment and the Forest, they'll provide financial assistance to the respective state governments for the conservation of biological diversity, cultural heritage, the landscape. And this region, it has a status of the cold desert biome because of the presence of this huge amount of snow. So that is why it is called as the cold desert. So this region, it carries the status of a cold desert biome for two reasons. Mainly one is the leeward part of the Himalayas. So if you all remember, we had discussed what the leeward side of a mountain is. So leeward side is the rain shadow area where the rain will not reach. So one reason is the leeward part of Himalayas, which is spared from the monsoon winds, and the other reason is the position at high altitude, on an average of 3000 to 500 meters. So we know that as the altitude increases, our temperature will decrease. So it keeps getting colder and colder at higher altitudes. So the cold desert of India, it is located adjacent to the Himalayan mountains, and they are not only affected by the Indian monsoons because mainly they lie in the rain shadow region of Himalayas. So as I said earlier. So this cold desert, it has an area of 7,770 square kilometers, and it includes mainly three national parks and regions, important regions. So that is a Pine Valley National Park, then we have the Chandratal. So this is Pine Valley as you can see over here, then this is Chandratal, then we have the Sarchu, and then we have the Kiber Wildlife Sanctuary. So given the climatic conditions which are found over here, there is significant biodiversity present over here, and some of the plants which is the flora which is found over here, they are medicinal plants. Also we see the presence of fauna like, you know, woolly hare, then we have Tibetan gazelle, then we have snow leopard, Himalayan black bear, and then Himalayan brown bear, then we have the red fox and the Tibetan wolf, then we have the Himalayan ibex, then we have the Himalayan marmot, Himalayan blue sheep, then red-billed chog, then chukar partridge, then here is the snow partridge, then we have the blue rock pigeon, the common pigeon, and then we have snow pigeon over here. Here we can see Himalayan snowcock, and then here the lambing deer, and also the last three are the Himalayan griffin, which is over here. Then we have golden eagle and the rose finches. So these are all the fauna and which includes both animals and birds are found in this area. So I think we are done with the cold desert biosphere reserve also, because it's a very small topic. So I'll be back with the next biosphere results. Till then, make sure that you're liking our videos and then sharing them with everyone, whoever is preparing for UPSC and government exams. And also make sure that you comment in our comment section below, and also subscribe to our channel, so that in the upcoming days all the videos which we upload, you will have access to them. And also the mini series which are going on now parallelly, they are very important for your prelims perspective, so make sure that you watch them. They are short videos only, so it won't take too much of your time. So these are the details of Vaishya. You can, as I said earlier, you can contact on this number, you can even email us and visit our YouTube channel. So until next time, all the best and thank you so much.